Hello, how are you? It's me again, of course. Um, Now, many of you have two questions. The first one is, why on earth are you wearing a purple shirt? The answer to that is quite simple. My girlfriend likes them. I think she might be colorblind, but whatever. And the second question is, Professor Dr. Trottel, what is it that you actually do in real life when you don't make these educational movies for us? And the answer to that is quite complicated. You see, I'm a scientist, and as a scientist, I don't just do one kind of science. There are many kinds of science. My professorship is for my work in wireless magnetism, as many of you know, of course. But my doctorate is actually for social science, because social science is also a science. I guess I could describe a little bit what I'm researching right now, and I'm one of those weird people. They've always existed in throughout history. For example, a few hundred years ago, some people said the Earth is round, and everyone else said no, no, it's flat. But then in the end, those people who said the Earth is round actually won out, and the Earth actually is round, as we now know. And I'm one of those people that goes against the current, and I've been ridiculed for it. I'll be honest, I've been ridiculed. People have made fun of my beliefs, but I'll come right out and say it. I have believed for many years now that there is no gravity in space. I know this is shocking to many of you, but this is what I believe. I have even written a letter to Stephen Hawking, one of the few people on Earth I consider my equal. And I asked him, Stephen Hawking, is there gravity in space? And his answer was no. So I'm pretty sure there isn't any gravity in space. And this is very good for me, because I was trying to research how spheres move in an environment without gravity. And I thought I would have to build an anti-gravity chamber, which is complicated because the materials are kind of difficult to get. But since there is no gravity in space, I can actually just, go into space and do my research there. So I'm currently looking for funding. If any of you would like to contribute, please feel free to send me a check, money order, Canadian Tire money, anything really. And I'll share the results with you. I'll mention you in the paper, as a co-scientist, if you will. Yeah, and that's what I'm doing right now. Another thing I've recently researched is sound. Because I've figured out some of my movies, the sound isn't very good. So now I have this microphone. It looks big, I know, but I don't like these microphones that come out there, because it's like the person is trying to look really important. I don't like that. And they have these little ones you can hide and all that. I don't like that either. I like this. This is good, solid. You can hold onto it and grip it, and it's got this big head and stuff. It feels comfortable. My girlfriend doesn't like it, but who cares? Well, now, of course, my videos always feature also a section on business advice, because I have a lot of experience with various businesses. And today I would like to talk about starting your own import-export business. This may sound very difficult, but as a matter of fact, it's actually quite simple. You'll need a few things. First of all, you yourself have to be a citizen of a first world country, or at least you have to have access to a first world country, because this will allow you to buy tons of crap that nobody wants anymore for really cheap. And then you can sell it in some, African country, and, people will buy it because they'll be like, wow, those shoes, they come from France or whatever. And those can be shoes from the 1970s. They don't care. They'll still buy them. So how do you do this? Well, first of all, you have to print business cards, thousands of business cards. For some reason, I don't really know why, but it's just that everybody has them, so get some, okay? And then you have to buy suits because people won't deal with you if you're not wearing a suit. This is true. If you have the best items in the world for sale, but you're not wearing a suit, I mean, look at me. I make these movies. I don't dress up for this. I always wear this because I want people to take me seriously. And if I was, just wearing a t-shirt and jeans all day, no one would ever listen to me. No one would care. People would laugh at me, you know? Of course, depending on what you say, they might still laugh at you, but if you have a suit, at least they give you a chance, right? So you need suits, at least 5, 6, 7 suits. You need a gold watch, that is very important. And you need a couple of telephones. Because when someone comes to visit you in your office, you need an office, there have to be like 3 or 4 telephones standing around. It doesn't matter if they're not connected. As long as people think that they're connected and that, people call you and stuff, that's very, well, actually, it might just be better if instead of having 4 or 5 telephones, you got a secretary to answer the phones for you. Maybe that's what I've been doing wrong. Anyway, you can experiment with that. It doesn't really matter. And then the next step is to buy an old truck. It doesn't really matter what it looks like on the outside. No one cares. You're just transporting your stuff around, And then you sell it, You have to make sure that it doesn't get confiscated at the border by some dictator's son or something who says, oh, look, French shoes, I'll need those for my 400 wives, and then he just confiscates them, and then you have nothing. That's very bad. So what you could do is that you meet the guy beforehand, and then you tell him, look, I can give you the French shoes, and in return, when I go back to Europe with my truck, you put some drugs in there, and then I can sell those in Europe, and that's how you can finance your trips. Of course, you shouldn't do that. That's illegal. So you don't know that from me, okay? But it's a good tip, Because I mean, even if you can't sell that stuff, you can still have a good party. Anyway, so that actually concludes my video for today. I hope you've learned something, and this is something that I really need to stress this. A lot of people think that it isn't really all that hard, science and all that, and it's true, it isn't hard once you start learning about it. But you have to learn, you have to read books, you have to go on the internet, you might even have to go to school, but you can't just make this stuff up. You have to take your time and learn about it, all right? And you know what? I think you can do it. Because I believe in you.